We have the patches painted out and we have all the grain painted in. And I want to sort of show you the results of that. And I also want to go over with you how we use the small paint brushes to color and mimic the grain lines that already exist in the stock. Now, what makes this particular piece of wood well suited to painting in the grain lines and then allowing us to sort of paint out or hide those patches? Now, this piece of wood has some very distinct dark grain lines, and in every place where there was a patch, there's one of those grain lines that are coming up right up to the patch. And because of that, I'm able to follow those grain lines and to pick them up and then to draw them right up through the patch, and then in essence just make those patches disappear and appear as though that they were just a part of or a continuation of those grain lines. So for instance, in this patch up in this upper corner, there's a grain line that comes right up through. And then I'm able to draw that and then to fade in or color in the color that is the same color as that dark grain line, and then follow it right up over the top of the patch. And in essence, when I'm done, the patch is gone; it's disappeared. And we have several of those. Probably the most distinct was in this area around the tang, and I had put in, I think, 4 patches in this area in order to replicate the correct radius here, and those patches are gone. That you won't see them, you won't know they're there. Same with this patch up in here. We're able to follow this very distinct grain line and pull it all the way in. And the one that is probably the second most distinct is this one around this front radius. There was a huge dark grain line that actually came in and swooped right back towards the radius and the patches, and again, mimicking and following that, I was able to make that disappear as well. Now, the way we do this, we use the small artist brush, and we put the color on, and then using that artist brush, we then begin to paint and follow those lines, those contours, and then bring them all the way back into the patch itself. And we were able to do that here. We were able to do it on the bottom, and as a matter of fact, in every area. But what that does is leave just color, and it doesn't give boundaries to those grain lines, and that's where the really fine artist brush comes in, because like a pinstriper, for instance, somebody who pinstripes cars, I'm able to get a very fine line, and then by using that fine line, I'm able to trace very, very carefully that grain line and leave a much harder, more distinct color that when I feather it out, it almost exactly mimics the grain line that was there. So right now I'm putting the final coats of finish onto the gun stock. I followed up with a couple more coats of the tinted red finish, and now I'm simply putting on the clear finish, and I'll start building up those layers. When I have the layers heavy enough, then I'll start doing a light sanding with 600 and then eventually 1000 grit paper. This will be the last time that we look at the gun stock until the whole gun is finished. And when I bring you back to look at the Springfield the next time, I'm actually going to have all the metal work done, and I'll have the barrel and action installed in the gun stock. And then I'll bring you back and I'll show you the entire gun completed. All right. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.